Hey, royal people, kings and queens. This is Ari. You guys, I'm on here to continue the series about The Loud Secret, my book that is available on Amazon. You guys can go ahead and grab that. It's under Erica Holmes. I go by Ari Holmes, but it's under Erica Holmes. I know this book will bless your life. It talks about the testimony of, what I've been through, and it encourages others who have had to go through trauma within their past that you can have a complete and whole and healthy future. Just because you went through some traumatic things in your past does not mean that your future has to be broken and damaged. So I just want to encourage you guys to go ahead, grab the book, because I know that it will encourage you. And today we're going to proceed with going through the chapters. I did not go through. I'm not going through every detail within the chapters because I do encourage you to get the book for yourself and read it. But I am going through just kind of brief overviews of what the book is about, what the chapter is about, and then so that you can go ahead and be encouraged to grab it, you guys, okay? Because true indeed, I'm on other social media sites under Ari Holmes as well, but you guys, this is so important. Your healing, within your healing process, your permission is required. And what I mean by that is God has already allowed us the level of healing that we are to have, but it's up to us to accept that and to do what's necessary to get it. God's released the word and said, by Jesus' stripes we are healed. But there may be things around us that look contrary, or that is, contradicting that verse. You may see something in life. You say, well, you said that by Jesus' stripes I'm healed, but over here I feel this pain. And so God wants us to stand on his word, stand in agreement with it, do what's necessary so that we can obtain that level of wholeness and healing that he wants for our lives. And that's what I'm talking about throughout this book. I'm letting you know that first and foremost, what saved my life, what allowed me to be able to proceed within life, was the love of God. God's love transformed me. It changed me. It shifted me. It showed me that honestly, regardless of what I went through in the past, that I could be made whole. That I was loved, and so I'm not my mistakes. I'm not the trauma. I'm not any of that. I'm not a victim, but I'm a victor. So I just encourage you guys to really get the book, really give God the permission, really give yourself the permission for your healing, because it'll happen. Some people may say, well, permission for healing. You think about it. If you read the scriptures, when Jesus was on the scene, he always asked, he asked, well, what can I do for you? Or, what can I do for you according to your faith? He would tell the people these things because he wanted us to understand that if we can just believe, couple our faith with what was already done, then we can have it. We truly can have it. So we'll move forward. I'm going to actually talk about chapters 9 and 10 today. Go over those, and then the next video I will go over the process that I went through, just some steps that I went through. This is not Bible to what you need to do, but it's what helped me. So you go ahead, can take what I said as suggestions, but if you need help, listen. My videos and books are for encouragement. They're to encourage you to seek the professional help that you need. If you need a professional help, go to a counselor, go to a professional counselor. I'm not standing here as a professional counselor, but I am standing here to encourage you guys to get the help that you need, okay? So chapter 9, it talks about forgiveness and courage. And then chapter 10 talks about the love of God. So I'm going to briefly read just a little insert of my book, chapter 9. It says, I choose to live and to grow in life, and the only way that's possible is by forgiving my past. I had to learn to forgive the perpetrators as well as myself for holding a grudge against them. I had to realize that God forgave my sins and shortcomings, so it's my job to forgive others. I don't like or appreciate what happened to me, but I chose to deal with it and to refuse to allow it to imprison me any longer. You guys, that's so powerful, because at the end of any day, regardless of what happens to us, we have to learn how to say, I'm going to choose to forgive. Forgiving does not mean you have to be in the same room again with the person, or you have to be best friends with the person that did this to you. It just means forgive, let go, let God handle it. Remove any resentment, strife, or any type of bitterness you have towards the individual that did you wrong, and know that God's going to heal you and give you better. He's going to heal you and remind you that you may have been through hell, but in hellish situations, God can bring heaven. He wants you to understand that just because that person did you wrong, you don't have to hold unforgiveness in your heart toward them. Unforgiveness will cause you to be angry. It'll cause you to, honestly, it can allow you to have physical ailments in your body, because you're literally thinking about these issues all the time. You're allowing your mind to be tormented. You're literally going over and over. You're thinking of the situation that happened, and you're not letting it go. You have to understand that forgiveness starts, and it's for you first. Because think about it. Person that did you wrong could have been 5 minutes ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. May not even be thinking about you. You may be the furthest thing on their mind, but you're allowing them to be the first thing on your mind. You're giving them energy and space that they didn't even buy. They didn't even rent. You have to learn how to protect your mind, protect your soul, spirit, emotions, and will. Your soul, emotions, and will. Protect your soul, mind, emotions, and will. Excuse me. Protect yourself, because true indeed, if you don't protect yourself and allow God to cover you, who else can you expect to protect you? Okay, so you have to make sure that you forgive the perpetrators, forgive those who have done the things to you that that cause the trauma. As you may not want to hear this, but truth be told, a lot of times the perpetrators will hurt themselves. People that harmed you, they were damaged. They went through hell. The people that harmed you, they had a horrible upbringing, and it's no excuse to repeat repeat things that you've seen in the past. But when a lot of them do this stuff, it's because of something they've experienced. So we have to begin to forgive the people that hurt us, pray for them, and move forward. You guys, it's so powerful, but it's so important. We have to forward and give, move forward. In order to move forward, we have to forgive. Okay, so I want to encourage you guys to do that. And then I talk about the love of God, and like I said earlier, literally what brought my level of healing, or will open my eyes to that, the fact that I can be healed, is the love of God. And somebody may say, the love of God, you think about it. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son for us, meaning he gave Jesus for us so that we can be whole, we can be free. And when you accept that level of wholeness that he's died for you for, then you can realize, wow, this was all because of love. Because God loved me so much, He sent His Son. Now that I'm whole, I'm reconciled, I'm back to my proper alignment, proper place. So we cannot take the love of God lightly. You can't take it just for granted and say, oh yeah, I have the love of God. No, let it become real to you. Let God's relationship, become so intimate with you that literally you ooze the love of God. You feel it. No one can separate you from the love of God, because the love of God. And if you've been through a traumatic situation in your past, trust and believe, when you experience the love of God, nothing will be able to shake it from your life, because you'll understand, without the love of God, I would not be here. Without the love of God, I would not have the peace that I have. Without the love of God, I would not have a sound mind. So you guys, I encourage you to get your relationship up with God. Get it up. Spend time with God. Pray with Him. Worship. Do what you need to do. Your worship and how you spend time with Him does not have to look like it looks, everybody else spend time with Him. You may look at your neighbor and say, wow, you look like you really are into worshiping, and, look like you just have this relationship, like this thing. You can have a thing with God too, but the thing you may have with God may look different from your neighbor. So don't get discouraged because it looks like your neighbor is doing that, with their relationship. Be at peace. Be at peace and have the right relationship that God wants you to have. Get intimate. He'll speak to you. He'll tell you what you need to hear, what you need to know to help you grow and go to that next level. Okay, so you all stay encouraged. I will be back with the other video. My next video will be the one on my process. And until then, guys, remember to renew your mind. It is the GOAT mind. Love you all.